Let's assume for a second you are interested in buying a Golf GTI, but your wife and your family say, no, we need more space. Well, then the Octavia RS here from Skoda could be the right car for you, because this car is available with the Golf GTI engine with 220 horsepower. And you can go for two different versions actually. There is a saloon version, like the one that I'm driving here, or the much more popular offering, especially here in Germany, is the estate version of the Octavia RS. I'm of course in the 6-speed manual. You guys know me, I need to drive a manual version if there is one available, but you can also get this car with the famous DSG double clutch transmission that you can get for most VW Group cars. So I won't care that much about practicality in this video, even though I have to mention that, yeah, the estate car is the much more popular offering here in Germany, and I see many of them driving around. Actually, when Skoda launched this car, there were delivery times of 6 months and longer for these cars, so that shows you that they have really been up to something here. You guys asked me about this car when I reviewed the Seat Leon Cupra, which is another VW Group car that falls into the same category. We have a little bit less power here, but since I'm also going to review the Golf GTI here soon, I thought this would be a great test to see what this car here actually feels like. The chassis is a little bit longer than the one of the Golf, about 3 centimeters as far as I know. So I wanted to take this car here on my favorite back roads and a little bit on the Autobahn to see what it's like. The first thing that I notice is the engine and the transmission are actually very nice. It's very easy to rev match in this car. The power delivery of this engine is very linear. And I actually don't miss power as much as I expected. I mean, in comparison to the Seat Leon Cupra, this car doesn't have the same kind of top-end power, but the torque is very similar. So you get 350 Newton meters in this car in comparison to the 380 in the Leon Cupra and also in the Audi S3. So that's not that big of a difference. The steering in this car is a progressive system, which feels very direct and accurate. I like that. What I don't like that much is this simulated locking front differential that this car has, which actually works by using the brakes. That sometimes feels a little bit artificial, and I wish I could turn it off. And you can also not turn off the ESP in this car, so when you are accelerating with full throttle input out of second gear corners, sometimes the system feels a little bit weird to me, if I'm honest, but the engine is really a great power plant in my opinion, and is a lot of fun to drive spirited, let me tell you that.
Despite the lack of any exhaust sound, with all the noise inside the cabin produced by the optional sound generator, the GTI engine in the Octavia RS really is what makes this a decent car. Sadly, the optional driving mode selection system only affects the steering weight, engine tune and climate control, but doesn't offer any suspension modes. While the setup works for spirited driving with an acceptable amount of ride comfort, I couldn't feel any benefit from the longer wheelbase driving the car at high speeds. On the autobahn, the Skoda even felt a tad more nervous and less enjoyable to me than the Seat Leon Cupra.
I know many people have prejudices about Skoda cars not being as well made and as nice as a VW car, but things have really changed, and in the case of this Octavia RS, I have to say this car in Germany costs even a little bit more than a Golf GTI, so you have to expect a certain level of quality, otherwise they wouldn't stand a chance on the market here, and otherwise I guess the car wouldn't be as popular as it is. So we have nice soft touch material here, absolutely similar to what I had in the Seat Leon. Feels the same to me. A nice big sat-nav system here. There's this carbon fiber looking stuff on the doors and in the center console, which looks nice. And the only place where I find cheaper or harder plastic is here on the door. The steering wheel is actually a little bit slimmer than the wheel in the Seat Leon, which is nice. I prefer that. The controls are the same ones that you find in Audi cars for years now. So yeah, everything that you touch and constantly use is very nice. The seats are manual seats. They could have a little bit more lumbar support for my taste, but are very comfortable and sporty. So I really don't have anything to criticize about this interior, and obviously, given that you have a longer wheelbase, there's quite a bit more space for passengers and also for your luggage in the back. So for people who think that Skoda cars still have cheap smelling interiors that are not on the same level as what VW offers, I have to say this interior really convinced me. What I don't like is obviously the color of this car, which is actually out of production already because nobody wanted to buy Sprint Yellow.
In the end, it wasn't just the color that made me question the saloon version of the Octavia RS, but mainly the looks people gave me driving it. The rear spoiler is a bit embarrassing and makes you feel like one of those boy racers you really don't want to be considered once you're older than 25. So the estate version clearly is the one to go for, which offers more attractive looks, more practicality, and holds its value better. From the driver's point of view, I wouldn't get this car over a GTI or the new Seat Leon Cupra ST, but as a complete package for people who care less about brand image and more about practicality, the Octavia RS is still a great option that offers superb value for money.